चलें बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम।
एक मिनट कैमरा ऑन करता हूँ, देखता हूँ।
जी सर, वी आर नाउ लाइव।
ओके,
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलाम वालेकुम। Good evening, everyone.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम रहमतुल्लाह।
On behalf of HECQ Professionals and Knowledge Seekers Training Institute, I formally welcome to you in this NEBOSH awareness webinar. This NEBOSH webinar is basically designed for those participants or those professionals who are interested to attend the NEBOSH course, which is NEBOSH IGC, or who are already enrolled in the NEBOSH IGC, or who are planning to attend this qualification. So what are the challenges for this qualification? What are the requirements for this qualification? And how this qualification is going to help you in your career progression? And as well as some of the things which we are looking with our experience, that what are the mistakes which normally participants are doing during the examination, and what are the tips and tricks which our experienced trainer, Mr. Wasim, he already has given number of videos on these topics. He is going to share you. At the end of webinar, we will also be having a short question and answer session. So I would request you to write your question answers on the Facebook, on the YouTube or WhatsApp group, so we can take your questions. We are noting down your all the questions and we will ask you at the end of webinar. Let's start with our introduction. We are HECQ Professionals, which is a US based company. We are having affiliates in Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, and Pakistan, Karachi. We are experts in providing training. We are experts in providing consulting and technical services. Our main accreditations includes NEBOSH, IOSH, OSH Academy. Similarly, we have lead auditor courses from IRCA. We are also associated with American Safety and Health Institute to provide their range of first aid courses, PCB, high field, and we are also providing the certifications preparation for the companies. We are also being licensed by the Saudi Technical and Vocational Training Corporation, which is a legal requirement for the institute to have this affiliation. So the purpose, as I told you, for this webinar is to provide you the information and awareness about the NEBOSH IGC qualification. We also do webinars time to time on different qualifications. At the end of webinar, we would be appreciating if you also give us your feedback for the next topic on the webinar. So we are now planning to have a regular basis webinar on almost monthly basis. So your suggestions and your feedback will be very helpful for us in doing the webinars. So without wasting further time, I will request our senior trainer, Mr. Wasim Ahmed, who is grad IOSH, having around more than 20 years of experience in the field of safety, health and safety, quality and environment. Mr. Wasim is associated with our institute as well as in oil and gas sector, which is ADNOC, which is Abu Dhabi Oil and Gas Company. And mashallah, he has conducted more than 60 NEBOSH IGC sessions, and he has number of videos also available on his YouTube channel to help the students and the participants of for those who are interested in the NEBOSH qualification. So due to his number of videos, which are very helpful for the students, NEBOSH also contacted him and did his interview few months back. So I would request Mr. Wasim to please share your slides and please start the webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Anas. I formally welcome all of you guys in the webinar, and I would request you, whatever queries you have, you can ask, you can write it in the chat box so that Mr. Anas can tell me whatever I can answer. For sure, I will answer your queries before ending this webinar. There are so many questions people are asking after the change in format of NEBOSH. So we all understand that people are not yet clear on the new format of open book exam. They still have many queries. I'm going to share my screen, my presentation here. I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. Guys, first of all, I would like to congratulate all of you on selecting this field, because this is one of the most wanted field nowadays, health and safety, especially after COVID-19. There is an increase in the demand of safety professional, and this is one of the noble cause. Saving life is one of the noble cause. I would suggest you guys to go with this. Even I would like to share with you, my background was different. I was a business developer in the beginning, and then I changed my field after 10 years of experience, after having a master's degree in business administration. And I found this change very valuable change. Even after making this change, is not only improvement in my career, but also it gives you good feeling sometimes when you are educating people on different topics. So today's this webinar is mainly focusing on the new format of NEBOSH IGC open book exam. Guys, as we all know that NEBOSH was having invigilated exam system earlier, and this system was usually people had to go to British councils to appear in their exams, and it was a controlled environment. Just to brief you on the changes in the format. Now, after open book exam, you got a privilege to have 24 hours rather having 2 hours exam. You get some privilege in the time factor also. You're allowed to consult any resource during the exam. Then people came up with the question from NEBOSH. Then people were worried about the credibility of the qualification. And they thought that they will have a book with them during the exam. So the credibility of this qualification may go down. Guys, this is not the case. Actually, things change as per the new design of format of qualification by NEBOSH, and people were expecting something very easy out of that open book exam. When it changed to a scenario-based exam, it's quite a more difficult thing nowadays, and you need to put your foot down, especially when we talk about qualification credibility. It is not going to be going down. Mainly NEBOSH, they give you a scenario, a real life scenario, and they want you to use your knowledge to do a research on the problem associated with the scenario discussed in the scenario. Using your knowledge, you need to solve those problems practically. So that is a more practical approach towards solving different scenarios, towards coming up with the solutions to the problem in the real life scenarios. So that is even this open book exam is followed by an interview. You might have heard about that interview. That interview is something to make sure the credibility is not going to go down. In that interview, for sure, people are checked whether they were involved in the plagiarism or not. The work submitted by people was their own work or not. So it is cross-checked by NEBOSH in that interview. So guys, the main thing is they give you a scenario. Usually this scenario is a real life scenario. It is maybe a good practice scenario, or good practice within an organization, or good safety culture, or a poor safety culture they discuss. And then they ask you 7 to 10 questions depending on the situations. Sometimes they ask you 7 questions, and then they ask you 2 questions, 20 marks each, and then remaining questions, 10 marks each, to complete 100 marks. So it depends, guys. Mainly NEBOSH, they want to check whether the knowledge you gained out of the learning material they provide you, your learning partner, the way they guided you, whether you got the concept cleared in your mind or not. So this is the format change usually. And another change is there. There is no change in the passing marks. It was 45 marks. But for the reporting part, for the GC2 exam, that is the risk assessment report, there is a change now. Now this report is not being marked by NEBOSH. There are no passing marks. There are 2 criteria only: satisfied or not satisfied. They check all the criteria are met by the candidate as per the guideline provided by them. If the criteria are not met, you simply get referred. So you need to be very careful in making your reports. You need to make sure that you are meeting all the criteria as guided by your tutor. So this is a change mainly. So previously, NEBOSH was not giving you that privilege to access different resources during your exam. Now you have that privilege. You have plenty of resources. You have your course books available. You have the online resources. You can go to different HSE websites to get information. But thing is, as Mr. Anas told you, you can go to my channel later on. I will share with you the link in the group somewhere. And just look at all of those videos are very helpful. Even we discussed what are the sources of information you may consult for your exam, how to put referencing in your exam. There's a format. You can see all of those videos are very helpful later on. My channel name is Wasim Ahmed Official. You can go there and you can subscribe and you can check all of those videos. It might be very helpful for all of you. Usually we upload some of the videos right before your exam for helping people on different topics. Guys, till here we are clear. Any question, guys? Just to brief you on the current situations on HSE qualification, we all know that HSE regulation and their role in Middle East is nowadays it's changing. If you go back 10 years, you might have a different scenario that time. Nobody was pushing for safety. Nowadays, things are changing because of the increasing incidents in the area and the regulatory bodies, they are becoming more active nowadays. You might have seen civil defense especially is very active nowadays in regulating the fire safety rules and regulations. Now they are not allowing any commercial building to operate in the area if it is not passed by civil defense. So if you look at the PME, Presidency of Meteorological Environment, they are more active. Even nowadays, they are making a regulation. Previously, health and safety of industrial areas were with civil defense only. Now they segregated, they make civil defense as a fire body only, and health and safety responsibilities are handed over to MUDAN, one of the new body, MUDAN. They are going to take over health and safety of all the industrial areas. So very soon you will see this health and safety management system requirement by MUDAN from all the companies operating in the industrial areas. So they are becoming more active. There is a push to pull for HSE resources. If you go back 10 years, people were, companies who were coming from different areas to Kingdom, they were pulling for health and safety since they had safety culture in Europe somewhere, wherever they had a head office. They were pulling for health and safety. Now, health and safety is being pushed by these regulatory bodies. Companies have to follow. There are so many career opportunities for health and safety in the Middle East. It's increasing day by day. I remember a few days back, there was a fire in a school. Then after that fire, there was a decision came from government. They said every school should have health and safety representative. So you will see very soon, guys, these requirements will be increasing on the sites, on the working sites in different organizations. Health and safety representative will be required. Even in the Middle East, I have seen the demand is increasing. You can go to Google and check for health and safety jobs in the Middle East. You will get an idea how rapidly it is increasing the demand. Now, none of the project is without health and safety professional in the area. Previously, health and safety was considered as a burden on the organization. Now it's a demand, it's a requirement by the clients or the consultants. We all know that there is a role of formal, informal HSC qualification since demand is increasing. I remember by 2012, OSHA was very much in qualification in these regions. And since Saudi Aramco was following OSHA standards, OSHA qualifications were very much in. Then later OSHA decided to ban these qualifications out of United States. They thought this is none of their scope of area out of United States. So they decided to ban these qualifications out of United States. Once they banned these qualifications out of United States, then these UK-based qualifications came in and they jumped into these markets. Due to their credibility factor and due to the requirement that time, since there were no formal qualifications available, NEBOSH got a good response. IOSH also got a good response. And these qualifications, they became very famous in the region. I remember in 2012, Saudi Aramco decided for their own staff and their contractor staff, contractors of Saudi Aramco are more than 5,000 companies. Some of the companies are bigger than Aramco in size. And the Aramco decided that their own staff, their contractors, subcontractor, all of safety staff must be minimum NEBOSH IGC certified. That time, these qualifications were very hot selling qualifications. Many people got certified. And even till now, many of the government bodies, they are pushing for these qualifications, especially their own staff. And when they, once they contract once they select a contractor, they want their contractor staff to be certified in these qualifications. Looking at the career wise, if you are a health and safety professional, these qualifications, they add value to your career also. These NEBOSH qualifications, especially this NEBOSH IGC is level 3 qualification in UK as per the Scottish Qualification Network. And level 3 qualification is a certificate level. Once you take this, you are eligible to go for further higher level. For level 6 qualification, that is a diploma level qualification. These qualification goes hand in hand with IOSH qualification, IOSH memberships. Especially if you are level 3 qualified, you may be given IOSH technician membership, which is another important thing, another important star on your shoulder. Because now in the market, they are not asking you about safety qualification. They are asking you about what membership level you are on. You are in with IOSH. It gives an idea to employer. Sometimes you will see requirement, we need grad IOSH, and it is not written how you get grad IOSH. Grad IOSH is given on qualification based. Usually if you are graduate level of your health and safety qualification, then IOSH give you a grad membership. Then you need to maintain certain CPDs and all of those things. So career progression is also there with these qualifications. You get international recognition through accredited qualifications. If you get these qualifications, as I told you, you get membership with different bodies. So these memberships are guaranteed that on what level of your career you are on and what kind of skills you possess. If you tell people I am a chartered member of IOSH, then there is, there are only 1,000, there are only 12,000 chartered members around the world. So this may help you in your further job market, in your career progression. Once you become a professional member with these bodies, guys, your knowledge about health and safety keep on updating always. They call you for different seminars, for different events in health and safety, and you can participate in the chapters you are in, Middle Eastern chapter or European chapter, or depending on the availability of your, as per your areas. Guys, NEBOSH is offering different qualifications. As you can see, there is award level qualification, there is certificate level qualification, there is diploma level qualification. In award, you have NEBOSH Health and Safety at Work qualification. That is under NEBOSH IGC level. That is award level only. Certification level is much higher level. Diploma is further higher level of qualification. So this is basically your career progression. People, they usually take award level qualification and then they go for certificates and then diplomas. They are not prerequisite for any qualification. To get certificate, you don't need an award always. You are eligible to go for certificate level qualification if your English language and understanding is good, if your English writing is good, and you can present your answers properly for this level of qualification, you can go with that qualification. If we see NEBOSH health and safety at work, for your information, HSCQ professional is eligible for award and certificate level qualifications. And very soon we are going for diploma level qualification, since we have trained many people in Saudi Arabia and Middle East. And now there are so many queries about further diploma level qualifications. So very soon you will see HSCQ professional will be offering diploma level qualifications. If we look at health and safety at work level qualification, this is level 2 qualification, guys, as per UK National Qualification Network. It provides principle of health and safety, focusing on common workplace hazards and controls. It includes practical risk assessment project. Qualification covers the following 2 modules: health and safety at work. Module number 1, workplace safety foundations. HSW2 is risk assessment activity, that is a report. And we have NEBOSH IGC report. Also in health and safety at work, NEBOSH, they have their reporting part. This qualification is offered by NEBOSH UK after successful completion of exam and 1 risk assessment project. Guys, one of my suggestion to all of you is, since you will be planning to go for this qualification, maybe not this, if not this, maybe IGC, before doing anything, you need to select your learning partner. Just make sure that your learning partner is directly approved by NEBOSH. How to make sure that? As you can see on the left side, there is a number issued 1349. This is a number issued by NEBOSH to HSCQ professionals. We are approved providers of these qualifications in Middle East. And you can go to NEBOSH website and you can check on the website who can provide these qualifications. There are so many offshore businesses going on in the market. Don't go blindly with anyone who tells you we are offering NEBOSH qualification. They might not be directly approved by NEBOSH. They might be using some other center's number, and you will not find these people once you fail the course, because these people are always looking for the new business. They are not much concerned about people who get referred. So they might not give you a feedback. We have seen in many cases people, they come back to us, their own training center, they vanish somewhere. So before spending your money, you need to be very much sure this is the right center for you. They have approved NEBOSH center number. And as I told you, you can go to NEBOSH website and you can check their number, their name and number there. Just verify that they are directly approved by NEBOSH. This is just one of the suggestions for your betterment. Guys, this is the qualification we are talking about, NEBOSH IGC. It's a level 3 qualification as per UK National Qualification Network. It provides insights of management of health and safety within the organization through tools like risk assessment, investigations, audits. Basically, it provides you management tools, how to manage health and safety within the organization. Any holder of NEBOSH IGC can further apply for professional membership like technician membership for IOSH, Tech IOSH, and membership for AIIRSM. AIIRSM stands for Associate Member for International Institute of Risk and Safety Management. Qualification is awarded by NEBOSH UK after successful completion of 1 written exam and 1 written risk assessment project. Guys, these are major topics in NEBOSH IGC new syllabus. NEBOSH IG1 is management of international health and safety. You will have 4 modules in this: why to manage health and safety, how health and safety system works, managing risks, health and safety monitoring and measurement, which include your auditing topic also. These are the management tools you will be learning in the IG1 element. Then there is GC2, control of workplace hazards. All the hazards and their controls are discussed in GC2. So you will be looking at workplace hazard and risk controls, transport hazard and risk controls, musculoskeletal hazards and risk controls, workplace equipment hazards and risk controls, electrical safety, fire safety, chemical and biological hazards and risk controls, physical and psychological hazards and risk controls. These are the elements discussed in module 2, GC2. If you look at your risk assessment report, there is a report, formal report you will be making after reading through all of these materials. You will be given some tools and tips and tricks for sure how to make a successful report. So we got a much better idea how to prepare our people to pass the exam, because we have ran almost 78 NEBOSH IGC courses successfully, and we know the NEBOSH style of questioning and answering and all of those things. Guys, as we were discussing, there's a career progression with these qualifications. If you see, the award level qualifications are further leading to the certificate and then diplomas, and then diploma will lead to the master also. If you take a NEBOSH diploma, for example, later on after IGC, then some of the universities in UK, they give you a chance to apply for master level qualification, and they give you a waiver of all of these 3-4 years of master level qualification. Even they waive off the foundation level qualification for people who are holding NEBOSH diploma qualification. And you might be a master level achiever within a very short time period. I know many people, they went for diploma and then immediately they went for master. Within 6 months, within 1 year, they were masters in health and safety from top universities in UK. University of Warwick and University of Robert Gordon, they accepted people on master level qualification. So career progression is always there. We all know these internationally recognized qualification will take you to a path in which you will grow in your career. If we look at the NEBOSH qualification and IOSH membership levels, if you are holding, guys, NEBOSH Health and Safety at Work, NEBOSH IGC qualification, then you will be eligible for technician membership, Tech IOSH. If you are holder of NEBOSH International Diploma, IDSC Level 6 Diploma, then this Level 6 Diploma will make you eligible for Grad IOSH member. If you are a Grad IOSH, you can teach NEBOSH courses. And if you are a master degree holder, guys, up to Grad IOSH member, you will be looking at the NEBOSH will be looking at these IOSH will be looking at the qualifications you are holding up to grad level. If you are holding a graduate level qualification, then you will be granted a Grad IOSH membership. Further, you need to do your CPD and IPD to prove that yes, you are well connected and you are well knowledgeable in health and safety field to achieve chartered membership, chartered fellowship, and these things are given when they look at your track record that you are well connected to your field and you are keeping on updating your knowledge. You are keeping on contributing to health and safety within a specific organization or within a specific company, and you are adding some values. Mainly, they keep an eye on their members, especially IOSH. CPD is continuous professional development. IPD is international professional development. These are the two criteria where NEBOSH makes sure that their members are well updated with the knowledge and they are adding some values to the communities. So if you are updating your CPD and IPD, then you may get chartered membership and chartered fellowship. These are the highest level of membership. On certain, within certain organizations, there are very few people who get chartered membership and chartered fellowship. So if you tell someone that I'm holding a chartered I'm a CMIOSH member with IOSH, then they get an idea on what level of your career you are on. So you don't need to tell them in brief what kind of qualification you are holding. These are very famous memberships, guys. I would encourage you, after taking these qualifications, apply for these memberships and continue your CPD so that you get benefit out of these things. These are some of the pictures. This was our 50th session for NEBOSH. This was the last session in a live environment in one of the hotel in Jeddah before pandemics. And we have just finished our 78th batch for NEBOSH. During pandemics, we were running online courses. This is the next plan. From 5 to 15th of September, we are going to have our next batch starting. Usually we hold an evening timing to help people who are on their jobs, who cannot attend during the daytime. So usually the course is from 6 to 10 p.m. with 1 or 2 breaks. So this is a brochure. If anybody would like to book with us, I will be personally training the class, and you may contact on the numbers mentioned here. Mr. Anas is always there. You may contact Mr. Anas. Guys, this will be a virtual live training. Virtual live is the same environment as we have almost in the classroom. You may ask questions. If things are not clear, we may pause for a moment. We may clarify things, and you need to be present on the. We will be using Zoom application for the course. This is very friendly application. Since we are running many batches, as I told you, during the pandemics, we ran many batches for NEBOSH IGC through Zoom application. It is one of the successful method of delivery of training. So these are the methods we are using to deliver trainings. Guys, I leave the floor open to all of you for any questions. I would be happy to answer your queries. I hope that you have written your queries and Mr. Anas was observing your queries. So I leave the floor open to you guys for your queries.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Wasim, for this great presentation and to describe the things in a very easiest possible way. We have certain questions already. Some of the questions are regarding to the technical side and some of the questions are regarding to the administration side. So our team will be responding to the administrative questions like about the schedule, about the course and this, all these things. Let's start with the technical question. The first question which comes from the participant, what is the most effective way to study the course with our jobs? Because most of the people who are attending the course, they are doing their jobs in the morning time, and in the evening they are already very tired, and when they are attending the session, the energy is already very low. So
It's
but
a very
they have
good
to
question, Mr. Anas. For sure, I would love to answer this question. As we discussed, since NEBOSH have changed their examination pattern, so you don't need to memorize things like earlier. You don't need to panic for that. You don't need to memorize bunch of papers and all of that. If your concepts are clear and if you know how to apply that concept in the real life situation, that is what is required. The most important thing is you should be master of the scenario, whatever NEBOSH gave you in your exam. If you read through the scenario 2-3 times and you know what is discussed there, what is the problem, and you utilize your knowledge how to solve those problems, that is the only thing you need. So that is the preparation part. most important thing is, guys, keep in mind, you don't need to be memorizing things as earlier. So you will not be required to memorize things like a parrot. So this is a good point, I would say. Also, you should know what are the sources of information available to you for your exam well before time, so that during your exam you are not thinking, you are not looking for the sources of information. There is a video on my channel on sources of information. I would request you to see that video also, so that you are well prepared. You should know, if I need certain things, from where I can get those things. For example, if you need health and safety statistics, you need to go to ILO website for latest statistics. I hope I clarified the answer here.
Thank you, Mr. Wasim. The second question is, as the exam is now open book, so can we see it from the internet source? So what is the best way to follow these websites information? How do we know that which website is authentic and which website NEBOSH is going to accept the information?
Guys, as I told you, many people are not yet clear on open book structures. Many people, they think they need to be logged into NEBOSH portal for 24 hours. No, this is not the case. You need to download the answer sheet, and then you can go anywhere, wherever you like to go. Then you fill that answer sheet with the answers. Once you are ready for uploading, once you check everything, once you are sure about the word count requirements and so many things, grammatical mistakes, you corrected them, then you have to bring that file only in a USB, and you need to put it in the computer, and then you need to open up the portal again. It should be before completing 24 hours. Usually it is, the exam is starting 11 o'clock in the morning one day, and it is available till the next day 11 o'clock. So you need to upload before next day 11 o'clock. So just make sure that you are not going more than 24 hours, and you need to upload it accordingly. So no need to log in for 24 hours. Nobody is looking at you. Nobody is monitoring you whether you are logged in or not. So you need to make sure that you utilize that 24 hours very well. In some of the cases, I have seen 24 hours are not enough if you are not ready with the sources of information, whatever you have to use. Guys, one thing you need to keep in mind, you should not get involved in plagiarism content. Plagiarism, NEBOSH is very tough with that. Plagiarism means, if somebody else is doing your exam, if you are using somebody else's work, if somebody was sitting with you, for example, and guiding you on things, NEBOSH, they have their own tools to identify these practices. And if they found you involved in these practices, they may give you a 5 years ban out of NEBOSH qualifications. So don't get involved in these practices. Now these practices are no more required. You have open sources of information. You have 24 hours for it to solve the exam. So previously people, they get involved in cheating. Now NEBOSH have a very big question from the market, how they are going to keep their eligibility. For sure, NEBOSH is very pushy about these things, and they don't want their people, their qualification to get hurt in the credibility factor. Yes, Mr. Anas, any other question?
Yes, Mr. Wasim, thank you. Thank you so much for a very brief answer. We have another question that we have failed a couple of times in the examination since the open book has started. So how do we know what are our mistakes in IG1? As NEBOSH provide the feedback on IG2, but it does not provide the feedback on IG1 exam. So it is always doubtful.
We are here to feed you back, guys. Actually, many people still, they are attempting exams in a bullet format, which is the biggest mistake they are making. NEBOSH has clearly mentioned on their question paper, in the first page, if you go towards the bottom, they have mentioned that bullet points will have hardly gain marks. So they are clearly telling you their expectation has gone higher. They make it open book exam. They want you to give some more information in a different format. For example, if there is a 20 marks question and you may not get 20 bullet points for those 20 marks question. Many people think that for 20 marks question, they need to provide 20 bullet points. Right? This is not the case. You need to think about it. You need to formulate your own way of presenting information. You may provide 10 bullet points for 20 marks question, but these 10 bullet points should not be one line each. It should be 2 to 3 line each, a small paragraph format. And mainly you need to look at these things. How much are the marks? What are the word counts allowed? And usually the way of presenting information is the main bottleneck where people are failing the exams.
Thank you, Mr. Wasim. I think now we will be moving towards our last question. The final question is that how do we find that you as a trainer or your institute is different from other NEBOSH training providers? What is the your strength as compared to other institutes? Because there are many institutes in the market.
As Mr. Anas told you earlier also, NEBOSH by themselves, they contacted us on our YouTube channel and they praised us too much. They said, you are the only trainer who has some channel where you're guiding people how to pass the exams. None of the other training providers, they are doing these things. So this is what we have started when these pandemics started. Many people, they got benefit out of this channel, and that's why I was telling you, you should also look at the channel. You should also consider the videos we have there. And for sure, we pamper you very well before exam to prepare you for the exam. We do have an audit by NEBOSH, usually yearly audit. They ask us how many people you trained, how many passed, how many failed. And then we need to be facing them in their queries. So it's a win-win approach for both of parties, for us also, for our candidates also. We want them to pass the exam, to keep our credibility high also, to pass the audits by NEBOSH for sure. And these are the ways we are making sure that we prepare people very well for their exams. Even we do some mock exams during the sessions.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. There is one more question which is regarding to IG2, that is it necessary, for example, some of the students, they are not doing any jobs or they are still a student, and when they are attending the NEBOSH course, as a part of their assessment, they have to do the risk assessment activity. So is it necessary to do the risk assessment for their companies or for the factory or for the construction site, or it could be anything, I mean, even their home?
No, it is compulsory to submit a risk assessment, but NEBOSH is not binding them to do it in a company environment. They can do it at their home. They can do it on any factory. They are not bound to do it in a certain environment. They can do it on their washroom, in their kitchen, on their bedroom, depending on the environment. If they can present 10 hazards out of 5 categories.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Wasim. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you so much, all of you.
You're most welcome, guys. I wish all of the candidates best of luck, whoever is planning for NEBOSH IGC. And hoping best for all of you. Thank you, Mr. Anas.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Wasim. And thank you so much, the whole team, for their efforts. This webinar is already live on our YouTube channel, so you can see this webinar later on also. And if you want to contact us for our upcoming sessions, you can see the WhatsApp number on the channel as well, and the calling numbers and the email address. So please don't hesitate to ask and contact us anytime. Thank you so much. Good night, guys. Thank you so much.